Man, we hear a lot and often about all these. It's always social media, by the way. There's all these terrible things that are said, directed at, said to, said about WNBA players by supposed Caitlin Clark fans. Now, when they get to a very egregious, over the line type of thing, we never actually get any of those. We might get the occasional bot, the occasional troll, but we never really get confirmation of a real person sending, unaliving threats, nasty threats to any of these players. Again, we know Caitlin Clark, although she never talked about it, had an actual real life stalker who went to jail. But one thing we never seem to talk about, or when I say we, I guess I should say the WNBA media, and that is all the hate and vitriol and vile nastiness sent to Caitlin Clark's teammates simply because they're Caitlin Clark's teammates, because they seem to get along with Caitlin Clark. Whereas if it were flipped, we'd be hearing about the isms and the phobes 24/7. And a great example of that is Raven Johnson. And to that point, I would like to take a moment to it's interesting that this is happening at this time because I'll say there was someone recently on an Iowa person, I believe went to Iowa, supposed big Caitlin Clark fan, has been following me for a long time. I followed them as well. And went after me yesterday for because I was critical of Kelsey Mitchell and something she said, even though you've all heard me praise Kelsey Mitchell plenty of times, and actually took a screenshot of some of my videos, with the title listings and reposted them on X, viciously attacking me, lying, smearing, saying no one should follow me. Everyone who's following me should unfollow me, and on and on. Even though, of course, if you're watching these videos, I give very reasoned takes. I have a lot of basketball knowledge. And what I'm getting to with the Raven Johnson thing is I'm also very, very fair. And when it is the right thing to do, I will praise people that I've been very critical of. I will praise people that I don't even necessarily like because that is what I try to do with this channel. Raven Johnson is a great example. Now, to put that in context, I've never, not liked Raven Johnson. I've just never really, either way. I mean, I basically know her from the whole wave off thing. And the one thing I was critical of that I didn't like was not long before the draft, where 3 years later, and she was making those comments about the fans and the stuff, nasty stuff she was getting when she would only be getting that stuff from South Carolina fans. But I've also praised her since then, haven't I? I've praised the approach she's taken. I've praised the hard work she's done. I've praised the way she seems to be handling and fitting in with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever because it's deserved to do so. It is actually pretty normal to give praise and criticism where either is deserved, even if it is the same person. But now Raven Johnson is on the other side of that. And if Raven Johnson were still at South Carolina, if these were Caitlin Clark fans, if Raven Johnson were at another team in the WNBA and these were Caitlin Clark fans, all we would be hearing about is the isms and the phobes and all of that crazy stuff. But since Raven Johnson is a Caitlin Clark teammate, and Raven Johnson seems to be getting along with Caitlin Clark, it is okay to be nasty to Raven Johnson. It is open season on Raven Johnson. All those all those little checks, that list of things that protect Raven Johnson, well, we throw that out the window when it seems like she's getting along with Caitlin Clark. So this is a short clip. It doesn't even have the whole thing, but this is part of what the team had done, when the All-Star game stuff was announced. And this was Caitlin Clark being announced as a starter, and just a bit of the clip of Raven Johnson, who, of course, was as a teammate congratulating her.
Caitlin Clark, my sister, my cousin, my auntie, my mama Sita, my friend.
Hopefully you actually could hear that. She was like Caitlin Clark, my sister, my mamacita, my friend, etc. Congratulating her. And the reason I say I hope you heard that because there's a little music in the background. We can't always get that stuff through on YouTube. But because of simply congratulating a teammate for making the All-Star team, for being an All-Star game starter, that teammate unfortunately being Caitlin Clark, Raven Johnson got stuff like, she's trying to survive in that racist environment, so lie for the bigots and go home, or tell the truth and don't go home. So, in other words, Raven Johnson has to say these things. Otherwise, Caitlin Clark fans will unalive her before she gets home. How wild and insane is that? Again, imagine if this was reversed. Did aliens nap this girl and scramble her brain? I'm worried. Remember, stay. Raven, please. People are very upset. Never thought I would say this, but I'll never cheer for Raven Johnson again. Raven, we love you, but please don't claim the nameless. Raven, just stay quiet sometimes. Now, think about this. The team did a video, a congratulatory video for their All-Stars. And Raven Johnson is supposed to refuse to do it because one of them happens to be Caitlin Clark. I hate to say this, but Raven is gone. I know you all still have a lot of hope for her, but she has chosen her side. This stuff now again, I didn't take like the crazy over the top unhinged nonsense from bots and trolls. But again, even simple things like this, if they were the other direction, and it's just again another example of the double standard of the hypocrisy, the Caitlin Clark fans want to say, hey, can we just stop and focus on basketball? And to that point, I want to finish up with this because, again, a great example of we only hear this in the one direction. This is from the Women's Sports Now podcast in reaction to the silliness from Alyssa Thomas, who hopefully has gone to the authorities if any of that stuff is real. But take a listen to this.
But it's going to continue to happen because this is not enough. A
Right.
statement from the league is not enough. Do you understand? This league has completely and always been about reaction and not action. They're always behind the eight ball. They're never ahead of the story. Every single time, it's like behind the story. It's like, if I'm the league, I want to see screenshots of who is sending me these messages. I want them found. I want them banned from social media. I want them banned from any stadium, any arena. I want their jerseys taken out of their closet. I want them sold and donated to a charity. Like, that's exactly what I would be doing. I mean, I'm an internet sleuth, so I'm happy to do it for you. DB, AT, you just send me their pictures and I'll get on it.
Let that sink in. Talk about unhinged. Ladies, are you going to let this woman speak for you? Because we're thinking maybe this woman shouldn't be voting. Y'all know I'm just kidding. It's not all, but this is some unhinged wannabe tyrant nonsense. But by the way, I will say this. Here's one thing that I agree with. I also want to see the screenshots. I want to see that these are real people with legitimate threats. I too want to see that. And you notice she mentioned at the end, she had AT and DB, as if Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner, who physically assaulted Caitlin Clark on a basketball court, tried to injure her. You will never convince me otherwise when I look at that video. They are somehow the victims. And this lady believes all the freedoms that you enjoy in this country, if she were in charge, they'd be gone. She'd take them away. You can't be on social media. She's going into your home and taking stuff out of your closet because some bots insulted and offended and hurt the feelings of a couple of thugs. Can't make this stuff up, folks. It is wild. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Truly appreciate it. I will talk to you later.